Good afternoon, everyone. So I want to share a little video with you on how to monitor your plants indoors during the winter. So I wanted to share with you a basil plant that we have in my house. This plant is originally intended to be an annual, but we help it survive by bringing it indoors and taking some extra special care of it. This is being shown to you having been recorded on December 10th. So we are definitely past the point where the ground has frozen. And what I wanted to share with you today is that even when the plant is inside, you can still have serious problems with insects that are going to attack your plants indoors. I'm going to show you what to look for. So we have our little basil plant here. Now, one of the things that I like to share always when I talk about basil is one of the ways to help it survive, if it's an annual species, is to pinch off any flowers that come up. And you can see some spots here where flowers have been removed by my wife. She's the one who monitors these plants. But one of the troubles that you run into with basil and with a lot of other more soft-tissued plants is that they can get attacked by insects very easily. So let's take a closer look here. Down towards the bottom of the plant, we have a leaf. It's nice and sunny. And you can see the leaf I'm holding here is showing signs of damage. Those pale discolorations are signs where insects have pushed their mouthparts into the plant and they've drained out some of the sap. You can also find other spots on the plant too where damage has occurred, like right here is a great example. You can see some of that damage sitting on the plant right now. The other thing to do is when you see this damage is to look for the insect itself. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our leaves. So if we go back down to the bottom of the plant, let's just turn one of our leaves over, take a little bit of a closer look. Hopefully the focus will work with me. And you can see a few little dots on the bottom side of the plant. Those are our insects that are causing the problem. These are a combination of most likely immature whiteflies. You might have a few aphid species that might be able to survive on the plant. There could be any number of things that can cause this to happen. Now, one thing to look for first when you're trying to decide what is directly attacking your plant is to first check for any kind of webbing. So if we run our fingers over the plant, and we can check them afterwards, and if we don't see any webbing on our hand, that means we don't probably need to worry about spider mites at the moment. The big tell that's going to tell us what insect it is really is the type of damage that you could see. And like I've shown you on the bottom leaf here, and there's a little bit over here, the damage here is pretty telltale of something that has a piercing, sucking mouth part. So that's what we're going to focus on. We turned over the plant, we saw the insects on the bottom, so we can make a pretty safe guess that if it's something that's on the underside of the leaves here or on the other ones that I've shown you so far, you're going to see small bumps that those are going to be the insects. They're going to stay very still. They aren't going to move around a whole lot while they feed. They're very, very much like cattle. They like to sit in a spot and feed for a little while. These are probably going to be, most likely, I guess, whiteflies and they're immatures. So how do we handle them? How do we get rid of them? First things first, we want to wash these leaves off. Now, as I've been doing this, I showed you, look on the top and look on the bottom of the leaf. The reason for that is these guys tend to congregate on the bottom portions of the leaf. So you are going to want to focus on those bottom portions, check under each and every one. You're going to get a wet washcloth with maybe a little bit of soapy water, and you're going to wash each of these leaves off. You can also use different insecticidal soaps and horticultural oils to help you finish this process. Though most of the time, I just recommend sticking to, and there's a great example of a few bugs right there, I recommend sticking to just some soapy water to help you maintain that. Now, the other thing you may notice about this plant, it's suffering a little bit because it's probably struggling with a little bit of water, so we need to water this one a little bit better. There are a few other things you can try to do to help supply it. One is to keep the soil of the plant very, very clean. And we are actually doing a mixed growth with this. We have some thyme in the same pot, so it's a pretty stuffed pot. Normally, these plants started out very small. So we need to separate these plants out. We need to give them room to grow, and we need to keep them clean of insects and other debris. All right, with that, if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to contact us, and thanks.